ABC's global celebration continues.
The century began also with a message taking 6 days to get all the way across the Atlantic. And when Marconi sent the message, it was received in St. John's, Newfoundland. We're going to go now to Canada, to the second largest country in the world, to Kevin Newman, who's in the harbor at St. John's, Newfoundland, the first piece of North America to greet the new millennium. Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
I'm doing very well, Peter. This is a very special place, as you well know. There are only 200,000 people roughly in St. John's, and I think every single one of them are on the Finger Pier right in St. John's Harbor here tonight. You can hear some Irish Celtic music going on in the background here. Some of the earliest settlers of Newfoundland were from Ireland, and they have maintained that tradition. In fact, there are places in Newfoundland that you can still hear Irish accents that no longer exist in Ireland. That's how isolated it is. We are expecting a wonderful performance here, and I should remind everybody that midnight here happens on the half hour. It is an oddity of Newfoundland that it has a time zone that is on the half hour. So we are about 20 minutes away from a Newfoundland New Year's, and as you can see, the revelers here, a little scoff and skiff, they call it, Peter. Little scoff means they've been having a good meal, little skiff is a dance, and then there's something here. They don't really toast with champagne in the same way. I'm going to just go down here for a second.
They
certainly
screech.
do. They use Newfoundland Screech, as you can see. This is a very strong rum. I would not recommend too much of it. But this is what they love to toast a New Year with here in Newfoundland, and I'll be sure to bring you back a bottle, Peter.
I hope you will, but give us a little bit of the history here too, because of Newfoundland is the place where the first settlement in North America occurred as well.
Well, that's very true. It's the first European settlement about 500 years ago, but it was also the first settlement about 1,000 years ago. They believe that the Vikings, and there's archaeological evidence to support this fact, they believe that the Vikings landed here in Newfoundland 1,000 years ago and encountered people they called the Skraelings, which we call the North American Indians, and they believe that was the very first contact between Europeans and native North Americans. But we are here tonight to celebrate 500 years of St. John's. This place was founded in 1613. It's the oldest city in North America, the oldest European city in North America. It also has the oldest street in North America, Water Street and George Street, just across from the harbor here. So it's an historic, a wonderful place. And somebody asked me, how do you describe Newfoundlanders to Americans? And I guess the best way to describe them, they are Canada's Texans. They are a very independent, culturally diverse people, but they are yet part of the whole of Canada as well. But they're, as you can see, a good bunch to be with this night.
You might tell that person, well, he's gone now. We can convince him that St. John's has said hello to the rest of the world. Are we any chance of hearing a little dash of that Celtic music before we move on elsewhere?
I would love to. There's someone on the stage right now. I'm not sure if you can get a shot of him or not, but
okay. Well,
there, as you can see, if you take a look here, if you can get past these guys. Excuse me, guys, I want to show the people dancing the jig over there. There's lots of people bopping up and down, Peter, dancing the jig, and you're going to be hearing more of that as the night goes on.
We have a lot of them in Times Square, but you're standing in a harbor, which means a great deal to Americans as well as Canadians, of course, because it was here where the warships very often hid during World War II, right, from the U-boats.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't quite pick that up, Peter.
I was just going to ask you to give us just a quick touch, 30 seconds, on the history of St. John's Harbor vis-a-vis the Americans as well as Canadians.
There were 10,000 American troops here during World War II because the German U-boats, as you said, were just off the harbor here slightly, and they were very, very concerned that there would be a landing party here during the Second World War. So 10,000 American troops, 8,000 Canadian troops here as well, built into batteries in the hard granite rocks of Newfoundland.
Well, Kev, thanks very much. You've had a wonderful day. He pointed out some of the migration and the communication of the day. So why don't you pick up your bottle of Screech and go and enjoy the ceremony and the celebration with the rest of Newfoundlanders. Newfoundland celebrating half an hour before the rest of the eastern United States. And now we're going to go talk about a change in weather. We're going to go from St. John's, Newfoundland, down to Sunrise in Florida for another of the performances which are going to mark our primetime coverage this evening. We're going to hear now from the Bee Gees.
Mr. Hill? Yeah, may I speak with you? Privately.
Sure. Excuse me.
I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your credit card, Mr. Hill, who resides at 2965 Pine Street, husband to Carol, father to Jim and Diane.
Mr. Hill, who had an itchy rash all of last summer.
And doesn't hang out the bathroom towels. Your credit card, Mr. Hill, has been declined.
What if a credit card company could send you an email reminder before you reached your credit limit? Discover Card can do just that.
Thanks.
A friendly credit limit reminder. There's always something more to discover.
Faster, more reliable, higher quality, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
And they're just having a great old time, as you can see. It is a couple of minutes now, I guess about 2 minutes to midnight, and we are awaiting the arrival of a couple of group of children from the outports and from the main city here in Newfoundland, which is St. John's, and they will be coming down and counting down the midnight for us. I don't know whether or not you can see a picture of everybody in the crowd at this point, Peter.
Help me if you will here. Have we got another camera there? Not that you're not. Do we have any access to the stage at this point?
We should have about 12 other cameras here. And if you take a look on the stage now, you should be able to see a couple of step dancers who are doing
we have 12 other
step
cameras
dancing, Peter,
in
you're
St.
familiar
John's,
with.
Newfoundland, and we can't manage to get to the stage.
Oh, that's a shame. Because
Can
it really is
we
quite a
plug into the
performance,
Canadian
and-
Broadcasting Corporation and the Millennium there? Is that possible? All right.
I'm sorry, Peter?
No, I was just
Oh,
I
there
was
we go.
actually
I'm
really
sorry.
talking to Roger Goodman in our control room here and asking whether or not we could plug into the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's coverage of this, because they're also members of the International Consortium. But this is the first celebration in North America of the Millennium, America's most important ally down through the years, the second largest country in the world, 6 time zones, all the way from Newfoundland to Yukon in the far northwest.
And we are 2 minutes away, Peter. People ask, why is Newfoundland on half a time zone? Because it is quite unusual in the world. And I've asked around Newfoundland. It's been this way since about 1885, when Newfoundland looked at the map of the prime meridians and decided that Newfoundland was right in the middle of a time zone. So by gosh, they were going to be a half time zone. That's very much in the spirit of Newfoundland. It also, of course, gave them an extra half hour to bring in the fishing nets, an extra half hour of sunlight, and it was to their great advantage for that reason as well.
Now, you were in some
and it's part of what makes this place distinctive.
You were in some of the outports in the last couple of days for us, and you find a sad story which is occurring in other parts of North America, people leaving the land, in essence, or leaving the sea in that ports to go to the cities and never come back.
And it's the same story we see in America on the family farms. People who have made their lives on the resources of the earth are suddenly unable to keep making their lives that way. And this was a story about a place a great distance from here, actually. No roads, a very remote place. And the people in that place couldn't decide whether to stay or go. A very poignant moment. I see we have pictures now of the choir.
Let's celebrate Newfoundland and Labrador our
way. Ladies and gentlemen, Newfoundland and Labrador welcomes the new millennium to North America in 60 seconds. 60 seconds to the new year 2000.
60! Church shines, the
21st century has arrived in North America. Never have I seen so many Newfoundlanders determined to talk to the rest of the world. We'll be back in just a moment.
ABC's global celebration continues. Still ahead, Barbra Streisand from Las Vegas, Aerosmith from Japan, the Eagles' special Millennium performance of Hotel California, plus the latest on Y2K. ABC 2024 Incredible Hours continues after this.
Half of us say we'd like to keep our work hours the same into the new year, while 11% say they'd like to work more. Let us do the work today. We'll bring the celebration to you.